Singer Camila Cabello is under fire online right now after people began accusing her of having a backup dancer don blackface during a performance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Camila has responded to these accusations and I'm going to tell you all about it right here on I.O. But first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. So as I mentioned, Camila is shutting down accusations that one of her dancers had performed in blackface. According to the singer, this performer was supposed to be portraying a white man with a terrible spray tan. While appearing on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, she performed her new single called Don't Go Yet. The performance included a bunch of dancers that were all dressed up in some 80s inspired clothing. However, on Twitter, some fans of Camila were quick to point out that this one dancer seemed to be significantly darker than his actual skin tone, which of course prompted a wave of backlash and allegations of blackface. In a Twitter/Notes app post, Camila, hoping to clear this mess up, said, "Hey, so this dude was just supposed to be a white man with a terrible spray tan. We purposely tried to pull together a multicultural group of performers. The expectation was not that everyone in the performance needed to be Latin. There are white people, African American people, Latin people, etc. And so the point wasn't to try to make everyone look Latin either. There are a lot of people in the performance who are not. The point was to try to make each person look like an over-the-top 80s character, just like in the video, including a white dude with a terrible orange spray tan." Her Twitter post also included a screenshot of the dancer's IG story where he shared a behind-the-scenes selfie and wrote, "In case you missed my spray tan last night on Jimmy Fallon with Camila Cabello." Camila also went on to talk about the type of team that she is trying to cultivate to express further how far off her haters are. In the tweet she said, "On my team we try to create a culture of kindness, joy, and love, and you could feel that this week. None of this could be possible without the dream team that makes it happen and the fans that continue to support." Although that didn't stop the mob on Twitter from saying things like this. "Camila, what was going on with Dylan's makeup? Is he your dancer or Fallon's? We all go through a lot to defend you from unnecessary hate, but having a dancer do blackface on stage in 2021 is absurd and you know better than that. Say something immediately." With another adding, "Camila, I love you, but okay, there's a mistake in your performance. One of the dancers was practicing blackface, and that's unforgivable. You wanted representation but failed, pay more attention." And to be quite frank with you guys, Twitter was really split over this whole thing. Many were saying that she should have cast an actual person of color for that role, but in my opinion her intention with this performance was to mock a white guy in the 80s that used too much spray tan. Her reasoning for the character seemed pretty solid too. To me at least, it didn't sound like a poor excuse for over tanning this dude for the performance. You know how some people give super lame excuses for using blackface or outright apologize for past behavior? Like Jimmy Fallon, for example. Jimmy Fallon apologized for doing an impersonation of fellow comic Chris Rock while in blackface during a 2000 episode of Saturday Night Live. He flat out said that he made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface and then thanked people for holding him accountable. Also, if you don't mind me putting on my tinfoil hat for a moment, I kind of think that marketing agencies have at least become aware of this Twitter outrage culture. Now, this is clearly all speculation, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think marketing companies plan a controversy ahead of, let's say, promoting an artist's new song, and then use Twitter bots to complain under the post, pushing it into the trending section of Twitter? Because right away, the artist is going to get a free press, good or bad. Upon researching this story that happened over the weekend, I must have stumbled across more than a dozen news outlets that are all talking about this. They all had a couple things in common as well. They said that there was outrage online, then they promoted the name of her new single, which I wouldn't have known otherwise, and then they closed the article off by saying, "But she actually did nothing wrong." I mean, by the end of the article, you sort of start to think to yourself, did I get duped into checking out Camila's new song? Because most of the people complaining about this on Twitter are getting little to no engagement. One post had just over 200 likes, which isn't a lot on Twitter, and something you could probably just purchase from a website. I honestly would love to hear what you all think about this theory though, because it's something that I've thought about a lot recently, whenever I have to cover these outrage stories at least. And while you type your thoughts in those comments down below, I'm going to check out some of your previous comments from the video titled Top 5 Influencers That Reverse Their Plastic Surgery. Lisa K says, "Embrace your natural beauty, there is only one you." Very well said, Lisa. Very well said. John Corrington says, "I love the fact that all of them are British influencers." Yeah, I was kind of starting to notice that trend. I was writing it. I was like, maybe I should change it to top 5 British influencers that reverse their plastic surgery. We'll see. We'll see. Craig Lister says, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder and beauty is more than skin deep. Stay positive, everyone, and always be yourself." These are the comments that I like to see, so thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Gene F says, "Love this and I love that Johnny covered it. Such a sweetheart." Aw, Gene, thank you. I appreciate that comment. Peaky Mind says, "Johnny thinks guys can't be catcalled. Well, that's just plain idiotic." I mean, ouch, first of all. Secondly, I don't think I said that guys can't be catcalled. I think I said I can't relate to women being catcalled. Guys could most certainly be catcalled, for sure. I've been catcalled a number of times from a few, let's just call them senior citizens, if you will. But the difference is I'm not fearing for my life when I get catcalled. If you're a, small or frail woman or a woman of any type, really. Getting catcalled has to be a scary thing, especially coming from a larger man that's like following you down. That's what I was saying I could not relate with. But either way, guys, that has been today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try.